and welcome to another edition of the one, the only, the In the Hump podcast, baby. It is Bills week. Don't care what the Dolphins' record is. This is a division rival. We're sick of losing to Thad Lewis. We're sick of losing to EJ Manuel. So instead, we're going to lose to Josh Allen. My name is Jake Mendel, and always my buddy here, Topher Cochran. How we doing today, Toph?
Are you already claiming a loss?
It's
very premature. It's very premature. I feel like you've been wounded.
I was kind of trying to sit there because I was thinking about how you talk to Dolphin fans who are of a certain age, and they always will go to this. Well, in the 1970s, the Dolphins went, 20-0 against the Bills. And so I got to thinking, what would I say? And mine would be, back in my day, we lost to Thad Lewis, EJ Manuel, the whole list. You need one game to get into the playoffs. 2013, 2014 was the same way. Not necessarily literally the last 2 weeks of the season.
You're forgetting about Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah, Tyrod Taylor too.
Forgetting about T-Mobile.
I just didn't even. I don't mind Tyrod Taylor. That's why I bring up like EJ Manuel and Thad Lewis as just the most obscure people that the Dolphins will lose to in December, because that's just how they work.
Yes, I mean it's like losing. It's like a spot start with Thad Lewis picked up, in free agency like in the middle of the season, and then it ends with like Jerry Hughes eating Tannehill alive.
Oh my God!
With Jonathan Martin revolving door, like just a rotating door of sacks.
According to Dolphin fans, Jerry Hughes is easily the best pass rusher of all time.
He's Lawrence Taylor. He's better than Lawrence Taylor.
I don't even think it's close. He is a monster when it comes to the Dolphins. There and it was always
Mario Williams too. Mario Williams.
Williams.
It's like a handful of them.
There was
just tormented the Dolphins for like a time 2 year.
And remember back in the day, Grantland.
Oh, pour some out for him.
So back in the day of Vine 2, humble brag here, my Vine account had like 700,000 views, and my biggest Vine, I guess, was Tannehill getting literally pancaked by, I think it was Mario Williams, and Grantland ended up using it, and it got like 500,000 like replays, and I'm like, wow, Tannehill died a lot. Because it was just the Bills games. They would get clobbered, whether it was Rex Ryan and his stupid turtleneck. It was no matter who was on the Bills, they were going to beat the Dolphins. It just seems like it's the way.
And the thing with the Bills is, it's no matter when you play them, it always feels like it could be a loss. Like 2 years ago when they were playing, when they were making that playoff run, and the game was in Buffalo, I couldn't tell you how terrified I was about that game. I think it was on like Christmas Eve. Mm-hmm. I think the game was on. I was terrified of that football game.
Yep.
Even though J&J went nuts, the game went into overtime, and I was 100% freaking out that we're going to lose this game. We're going to go 9-7.
That was probably my most exciting game as a Dolphins fan.
Oh, yeah.
Christmas Eve, you're getting ready to go over to, like, family's house or something, and you're just holding on for that last minute to watch these games. And I think it's really funny because I think every team in the AFC East outside of the Patriots does this every year. They say, so we can chalk up 4 wins with, if you're, say, Dolphins fan, you're going to sweep the Jets and you're going to sweep the Bills. And that's kind of, if a team in the AFC East can do that, because all 3 teams are, really in the hunt, if one team can do that in any given year, that's the team that's going to make the playoffs. So when you look at 2016, Dolphins beat the Bills twice. Last year, the Bills beat the Dolphins twice, and, they made the playoffs. So
which I forgot about.
Yeah. There was
about a window.
There was a time at the end of last season. I remember after the Patriots game, I went full all in to
Bills Mafia
winning out. No, the Dolphins just winning out, and it just never happened. But you know what? Let's start this game the way we should. The Bills have won 2 in a row, while the Dolphins have lost 6 of their last 8. We have a team trending upwards and a team trending to the toilet, I guess. The Dolphins are giving 6 points at home, and the over-under is about 40 points, 40.5. Anything
so really bad.
Stand out? Anything really stand out for you there, other than, we're each going to put up 20 whole points?
Holy crap. I mean, you would think that, I remember going into this year that the Bills were, that team that's just going to be a disaster. And they have a pretty decent defense, and Josh Allen has, looked serviceable. Granted, they had the period where they were starting, just scrubs at quarterback because Josh Allen was hurt. I'm not mistaken, it was like Nathan Peterman, it was Derek Anderson at one point. Like the Bills offense was the team that you would go pick up that defense in fantasy football because you know you're going to get some action from them. Because the Bills offense was that putrid.
And then
without
Matt
Allen.
Barkley put up a 40 burger, something Tannehill hasn't done in how long?
Yes. Ever? I don't know. I have no idea. If you I don't know.
But let's look at Josh Allen for a second because the rocket arm, he kind of looked like because I don't follow college and this is going to come out a little weird, but he's kind of like I guess a doofus. He's this big, tall, very athletic, but he just, too many errors, throwing interceptions left and right. And he kind of seemed like an in the hunt guy because he's going to look really, really good and then just kind of is going to just disappear. He's currently 3-3 as a starter. Allen ran it for 13 times last week for 99 yards against the Jaguars. It was a team record for rushing yards in a single game. He gained positive yardage on all but one play. He picked up 3 first downs and ran for a touchdown. Josh Allen's got speed and athleticism, and that's something the Dolphins still suck with Thad Lewis, EJ Manuel. It all comes back to this type of player. So how scared are you of Josh Allen just slowly sprinting for like a 3rd and 20 conversion?
Well, I've kept tabs on Josh Allen because he'll pop up on there with those rushing stats.
Yep.
I think against Minnesota, he leapt over a defender.
Yeah. That game kicked me out of Survivor. I was so pissed.
Yes,
oh my God.
So his scrambling ability and his mobility does kind of annoy me because that stuff's going to convert 3rd downs. That's going to convert and get into a 1st down and keep drives going. Because Josh Allen seems like he's competent. I mean, he's a rookie still, so you're hoping that the Dolphins will force him into turnovers, but he seems like a dude that's not going to sit in the pocket. That he's actually wants to make plays with his legs, and that kills the Dolphins every year. Is a quarterback who could just make plays with their legs. It is not explosive plays; it's just continued drives.
Yep, that's kind of the one thing that can sum up a football team is their ability to continue drives. We were talking about Gase and the 25% success rate of a play in his own 10-yard line, and they run it with Drake. That's not really something you expect Tannehill to spin move out of pressure and maybe run it or find.
He'll evade a rush. But it has to be he has to be running to the right side of the field at the same time.
Everything kind of has to go right. Speaking of, in Buffalo's 4 wins this season, the offense averages 26 points per game, while in their losses they average about 8. So the one thing that I think the defense is really, really, really got to get better at are 3rd down. Obviously 3rd down. It's the dumb penalties that we see from the defense where you think, oh, well, it's just, we'll stop them. We got 3 more downs. And I guess the best way I can ask this is, are we going to see more Kiko Alonso running at quarterbacks' heads?
Now, is he going to be running at them with his hands kind of as if he's diving on a basketball court, trying to not break his wrists? Like he did with Joe Flacco. I mean, no, it was last week against Andrew Luck. He looked like a Dolphin. He looked like that Tannehill meme that we've seen.
Someone actually posted that. Who did it better?
Right.
Yep.
It's the same exact thing. Is he? Do we have a headhunter on our team now, or I guess a QB killer?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Kiko's been a QB killer since day one.
He looks like he feels no pain. By the way, that face, that jawbone, that jaw structure looks like he feels no pain.
Oh my God, dude. No, there's no doubt about that. And
shotguns a beer, it looks just like that.
He's just a bro, I guess the best way. And his name's Kiko.
Oh, yeah.
He is literally such a freaking bro. I want to ask, were you upset about that Kiko penalty? Because I kind of accepted it.
I laughed. Those kind of penalties don't bother me as much because it's just a football player being a meathead.
Yep.
But it's the penalties that are the use of hands, illegal use of hands in the secondary. It's those kind of penalties that bother me, where it's just really you just touched them, just play turn around once in a while so you don't get a pass interference thrown.
Exactly. Let's go back and talk a little Adam Gase because he's become so polarizing. He's taken out. We don't even care about talking about Tannehill anymore.
No.
It's
all part of Tannehill's plan though. Protect Tannehill is just ramble and become a straight up quote machine.
He goes, "You're disappointed because you've got 2 games where you're sitting there going, well, 5-6 or 7-4. Gase told reporters on Monday. So it's a crappy feeling.
He's us.
Pouty Gase? Is this what this? We got Nerd Gase, now we got Pouty Gase. We all have this coach. We don't need a guy is, sitting there at the press conference saying, they are who we thought they were. Punching microphones. Instead, I just want a guy being like, you know what? We're pissed. We're pissed. This sucks. This isn't a position we should be in. This is something we all need to get better at. We've saw this. We're fixing this. But instead we get, we're feeling kind of crappy. Dude,
Do you
really?
think he's beaten down? Do you think he's beaten down?
I could see that. I could 100% see that.
Do you think he's beaten down because he's just frustrated that the season has not gone the way he thought it would go? And that the guy that he's supported has just been injured again this year? And he's just kind of been dealt a crappy hand in terms of just injuries.
I don't want to give him that card because it's still the roster he built. Even when Tannehill was there, he wasn't always the guy. I think you make an interesting point where he does seem very worn out.
It wears on you. It just wears on you, man. The season's already a grind, and you had plans of this is our guy. You brought the guys you brought in are now hurt. You brought in Albert Wilson, who was supposed to make this difference, and he did when he played, and now he's hurt. He's going to miss the season. Jakeem Grant, the guy who you drafted him late in the draft, and you've been slowly integrating him into the offense, and he gets hurt and he misses the year. Yep. The quarterback you love, Tannehill, you back this guy up, and he gets hurt. The minute you get success as a first-year head coach, the guy who was with you then just got hurt, man, and I think he's just frustrated and beaten down with the whole season.
See, the thing about I can't let his vision, like the idea of, his plan didn't work out and injuries played a huge role, which is so true. But we can't ignore the fact that Jay Cutler was part of his vision, and running on 3rd and down last week was part of his vision, and that vision somehow didn't, foresee Andrew Luck being able to just continue to light up our defense. So that vision, while it might take some, bad angles, I guess is a good way to put it.
No pun intended on the defense.
Exactly. Nice. Especially with Kiko. Nice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But the vision isn't always a good one when it comes to Adam Gase, and that's what I'm starting to question, and that's what I think the reporters are starting to question, because the way he answers in press conferences, we're starting to see that, hey, this is what you wanted to do. In reality, we don't think that was going to work. Yeah.
I mean, we convinced ourselves in the beginning of the year with, the short intermediate game because New England does it. Because we were trying to rationalize that with New England plays a short game. And when he plays it short, and I think he just it's eliminate risk with the quarterback and have your playmakers make plays. Worst case, you get a 6-yard, 7-yard completion. Mm-hmm. That's really it. It's just not have turnovers, and that it's kind of worked, but it's never been sustainable because everybody's gotten hurt in the process. The first year they discovered Jay Ajayi, and he just went nuts on the running game, and that was the bread and butter play action with Tannehill. But we've kind of seen that it's just I think the jury's still out on what his vision is. But as of right now, it's pretty annoying because it's not fun.
Do you think Adam Gase can be the difference in a team going 7-9 to 9-7? Because we kind of looked at it his rookie year, and it just everything seemed strange the way they were winning. Their stats weren't good, and we kind of put it on Adam Gase, hey, he understands that the defense is going to give up massive plays, massive yards, but he just figures it out how we're going to get the ball last and get this opportunity to score or get the right turnover. And over the last 2 years, we really haven't seen that. We mentioned earlier in the show, so hard to think about 15 minutes ago, I know, I'm sorry. But how it kind of seems like the team that beats the Bills and the Jets twice, or, the team that wins the AFC East outside the Patriots can pretty much lock up a wild card spot no matter how good they are against other teams. Can Adam Gase be that guy to give that team a 2-win swing that we saw in 2016? Or is he turning into this guy where, kind of like Tannehill, everything needs to go right?
I think we're seeing the point differential that the team has had finally add up and bite them in the butt. Mm-hmm. Like it's just now like it's the sample size. It was okay for the first year, but as the games increase and you realize, all right, they're just not scoring any points, it adds up after a while, and we're seeing that like the team's just not good enough. And I mean, I thought he showed something last year, like just going 6-10 at 4-2 at one point, and then going 6-10. Mm-hmm. And this like he shows it in moments where like he's good for a game. Right. Just on like sheer coaching and play calling, and this year it's kind of proved that like he's also good for a loss, with going back to Indianapolis.
He said on Wednesday, these guys do a good job of moving on and go to practice and work hard and get after it on Wednesday. Excuse me. Our focus just needs to be one game at a time. How do we win one game? Thanks, Gase. I'm glad you're asking us. It's probably good that we're home. We've got a great opportunity just to get back to 500. We've just got to focus on ourselves and can't worry about anybody else. It's probably good that we're at home, he says. You think?
Feels good to be at home. Feels good, man. Feels good.
They get demolished on the road compared to home. Oh, you think? Where's the statistics backed him out? Where he has to say probably and not definitely. How gross is it that we're talking about going back to 500 again?
It's gross, and it's also gross that we're like we're saying we can't wait that we're back home. Like they can't wait till they're home. Mm-hmm. Because we know that like they are terrible on the road, and I honestly forgot where they were playing this week until like I just did some research because I'm so out of the season that like they're coming home already. Yep. Like it's felt like when's the last time they were home? It was Detroit, right?
Yep. And that was
that seemed like 8 years ago.
You're
and so they're home. They're finally home, and you're like, hopefully it works out. Like it. We forgot what like entertaining Dolphin football is, and it usually happens at home.
It usually happens 3 times a year. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it actually. So did it already happen, or are we good for another game?
I think the Bears, Titans. Yeah, I think we got one more game. I want to say Patriots, but I've been right.
Oh yeah.
I've been wrong twice about the. There's going to be one more game they're going to win where they shouldn't to kind of ruin draft position. For the Dolphins, 28th ranked offense that has struggled to find consistency. That won't be easy against a Bills number 2 ranked defense that kind of has an attitude that feels that they haven't really peaked. This is really, really scary for me because we talked about it. Jerry Hughes. That is all we need to say. We can kind of close the book. He is going to run a muck on the Dolphins offensive line.
How many false starts are we gonna get?
I'm just, I like,
like you know what I mean?
And that's gonna be the worst. It's gonna be like a 3rd and 3. Gonna be able to run the ball pretty well, and all of a sudden false start, 3rd and 7. Tannehill looks like a doofus and kind of just falls apart.
My favorite false start is right when they get a first down and it's 1st and 10. False start right then and there.
When you got a little rhythm.
Yes.
Which running back do you think has a better game? McCoy has the most rushing yards since 2009, while Gore has the 2nd most. I feel like I want to be mad at Frank Gore just like watching him run, but I can't because he's averaging 4.5 yards a carry.
He just gets the job done, man. Mm-hmm. He gets the job done. We've seen running backs just gash this defense up, and so I'm fully prepared for Shady McCoy to get 100 at least.
Oh yeah. My buddy asked me, he's like, "Oh, should I play McCoy in fantasy?" And I kind of just sent back the poop emoji when talking about Dolphins, Dolphins defense, and he responded because he's like, "Yeah, oh man, I just did some research. ... They're double poop emoji." I'm like, whoa.
Research.
I was being nice. You don't have to give us the double poop emoji. We know how bad we are. I agree. I think McCoy there's going to be sometimes there's going to be players that whiff, or there have been games where they just kind of shut down McCoy. Either way, I'm pretty excited that Kenyan Drake's getting more involved. He has 7 total TDs on the season, 706 scrimmage yards, and it's going to be his career high in total yards by a long shot this year. Why did it take so long? Why? You know, we saw Gore still get a lot of action against the Colts, and Kenyan Drake still had a very successful game.
I think we just lose track of what's going on and how long the actual season is.
I think Gase loses track. I'm going to disagree.
Probably.
With you and say
that. Okay. So you think Gase just forgets that he has Kenyan Drake on the sidelines?
I do. I 100% do.
That's awesome. He's such a nerd that he forgets who's on the field.
Just a bunch of numbers on a
Yeah,
he's like, oh yeah, this 32.
You could arguably stand next to the Adam Gase, and he'll like think you're Kenyan Drake. Like him and Kellen Balaj. Like, do you think he's gotten them confused at one point?
No, just because
He's
the numbers.
He's like, fuck, what happened? What happened?
If neither of them wearing if both of them like switched jerseys, then yeah, he'd have no idea. You'd be so flustered.
Oh, God. He starts calling a pass play.
Yes, Wildcat. Throw them both. He doesn't know which one goes out there, so he puts them both out there in Wildcat.
But I'm looking at it. He has 706 scrimmage yards. It's pretty easy. He's going to finish with over 1,000, right?
Nothing's easy for the Dolphins. Come on.
Okay. Wow. That's only. I mean, Jesus Christ.
That could be 2 games.
I think if Kenyan Drake finishes 1,200 scrimmage yards and 9 touchdowns, 10 touchdowns, that's good. That's a good season for him.
Oh, there's no doubt that is a good season for him, but that's still, it should be better. You know, you can. I
thought we were mentioning at the beginning of the year him like getting at least 1,000 yards rushing and like 500 yards receiving.
Yep, that was 100% what we were thinking. That's what Gase was thinking. He wanted him to get 17, 18 carries a game, and the Dolphins to be playing, 70 offensive snaps or something like that, and they're nowhere near that. The Dolphins promoted fan favorite Isaiah Ford to the 52-man roster.
Training camp favorite.
These are the guys, we've been kind of talking about it a little more lately, where everyone loves these bottom of the roster guys. Are you really expecting anything from Ford?
Nope. Not at all.
Same, because for some reason the Dolphins always keep these guys around who, okay, Ford got hurt. Yes. He missed an entire season. Yes. But there's always these guys who, if they can kind of turn around their season, turn around their career, they could be really good. Well, no doy, but they don't. And, it'd be great to see Ford do something. We saw Carew do something, but it just...
It's a struggle seeing him do it.
Yeah, it's going to be really tough. Speaking of guys who need to turn their career around to kind of motivate themselves, Jordan Phillips revenge game coming on. How do we feel about that?
If it was a home game for Buffalo, I'd be terrified, but I'm not really worried. What is he gonna offer? Like, well, he's gonna be motivated, but like, what is he really gonna reveal state secrets? Like, I don't think that makes that much of a difference.
Did he have secrets to give? Because that was his issue. He was never motivated. When he was on the Dolphins, he had 5 tackles, 3 QB hits, and 1 sack in 4 games. In Buffalo, he just has 11 tackles, 2 for loss, no sacks in 7 games. So it's safe to say even getting cut as a second-round pick wasn't really enough motivation for him.
Yeah, I think what hurt the Dolphins the most, it was just a PR hit of like cutting your second-round pick.
Yep.
I think that's what was the issue, but it's Jordan Phillips. No one cares. I honestly forgot that he was on Buffalo.
Who do they cut first, Mike Gesicki or Charles Harris?
Oh, Charles Harris. Get out of here. Oh my god.
What would you do? If
they cut Charles Harris?
No, if they cut Gesicki before Charles Harris.
I would shave my head. I'd cry.
It's official for the internet. I'm so ready for it. I want a video of you shaving your head while crying, if it happens.
Okay. We can work on that. Just he can't get cut though.
Exactly. I hope not. I hope he's scoring 12.
I just want this guy to like catch a pass without fumbling it, man. It's just. I think we fell in love with him the way fans fall in love with training camp MVPs. Tor McTire. We fell in love with. Well, I think we did a Patron segment on 5 reasons about training camp MVPs, and Tor McTire was one of them.
Yeah, and I think there were a couple times in the season where McTire had opportunities to intercept some balls, and he just didn't take advantage. And I think that's the biggest difference between these training camp MVPs and real life players, I guess, is that every opportunity you get, you need to make something. This isn't basketball where, you can miss half your shots. You need to do what Leonte Carew did, where you aren't even supposed to catch that ball. That ball was supposed to be intercepted, but you fight over a guy, you catch it, and even then you're supposed to be tackled. Nah, fam, we go into the house for 70 yards. And that's kind of what these guys have lacked for the Dolphins over these past couple of years. Topher, it's getting a little late. Let me get your prediction here.
I think Miami wins 24-21.
Ooh, so you're taking the over. God, I can see either the Dolphins getting blown out or winning close.
No, I can't. I don't see them losing.
I mean, I wouldn't mind the total shit show. I just want to see what Ross's limit is. But I'm
yes, you know what? Yeah, that's another conversation. We could have just a pod on that topic. What's Ross's limit?
It's pretty. Oh my God, he'll deal with a lot of shit. I'll go 17-10 Dolphins. So it's gonna be ugly like that Jets game. It's not gonna be too much fun. No, that Jets game was the last time they were at home. It just
yes, yeah. I didn't feel it. Yeah, it felt like just a game.
That's horrible when a freaking divisional game just feels like just another game. Podbean, iTunes, Spotify. You can find this podcast everywhere. We're trying to have fun. We're real life people. We got jobs, so we're kind of trying to find a new rhythm. We didn't have any guests this week. We're hoping to change that in the future. We'll see what happens. This is the In the Podcast. You find Topher, the one and only at Cochran108. Find our stupid GIFs, mean stupid as in funny and hilarious, and you should retweet them. Not favorite them, but you should retweet them. At Am I in the Hunt and me. You can find me talking about everything from Dolphins to eight-year-old BMX riders to the Little League of Football at JMendel94. This is In the Podcast, and most importantly, fins up.
Fins up!